And in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to College Conversations with...
Hi, Rick.
I'm Dominique.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Naeem.
Alright, get out of my chest.
Someone
Come on, I gotta sit down. We gotta do a show.
That's not really Rick. Someone was really much better than Rick.
Yeah, they look much better than Rick did, but unfortunately we
Sorry guys, I'm back. I just went to the bathroom. The little kid stepped in for me for a second.
Stole it.
He stole it.
Stole
So
it.
anyways, welcome to College Conversation with me, Rick.
And me, Naeem.
And our very lovely, lovely? I don't know.
She is.
She
Thank
is,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I was looking at him when I was thinking about lovely. It's like, not so much.
Lovely and mustache?
Lovely and mustache. There you go.
Guapo, guapo.
Guapo.
It's the only Spanish he knows.
See,
Guapo.
So, let's introduce you guys properly because I just totally blanked out on your names.
He just totally...
Justin and Dominique. Yes. Now, we just met last night, and folks, we're back here in Reno, Nevada, at Circus with Bruce Hunchy's The Gathering, the 2022 edition.
Is it?
2022.
I don't know, is the 40th year?
40th year.
I don't know. There's
That's
something that had
crazy.
40 on it. No, I'm assuming. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
40
It looks like it'll work.
40 bucks? It was
Right.
40 bucks for 40 years? I'm not 100% sure.
So our conversation last night was pretty much, who are you guys and what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? And we found out you used to have a school here, or do you still have the school?
I don't currently have one operational.
Right.
Looking to change that here in the very short future.
Right. And what system are you doing?
Tang Soo Do.
Tang Soo Do. Tell us a little about that.
As I tell everybody, I said, you know what Chuck Norris does? That's what we do.
Chuck Norris stole it from us. Just kidding,
It makes
Chuck.
it easy.
I'm kidding, Chuck. Please.
They go, Tang, what?
Don't come find us, please.
I know where they live if you want addresses.
No.
Yeah, they always say, what, Tang, what? What is that? You know, and basically, you know, so people get it. My original Grandmaster was Grandmaster Shin, J.C. Shin, and he was Chuck Norris's original teacher in Korea.
Oh, wow.
So that's where, for my journey, that's where it started from.
All the way in Korea, huh?
With him. It's a long swim.
Any life I lived.
And the nice thing about this, folks, I don't know if you realize, you guys are married.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Wait, they're married?
Yeah.
So I don't have a shot.
No. Well, maybe with him.
Pay your
We were
half.
talking about him last night. We have no idea.
She might be all right if you just pay your half.
Mama needs money.
Sancho. Sancho.
Pay your share and you can have them all. Take them.
Wow, she is pimping him out.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely.
I
work
like
hard
it.
for
went
the
downhill
money.
already.
Now, you also do martial arts because
Yes.
I've seen you in a gi.
Yep.
You're not just a pretty girl, just hanging out. You know?
We walked in and they're in full mount or
Yeah.
full guard.
Yeah, she was doing a
I was
kimura.
trying to learn the
She did a
kimura,
kimura
okay?
on him. It was just hilarious. I was like,
Trying,
wow.
right?
He like the moment she sits in, he's like, good. He couldn't do it any faster.
He was trying to be polite. He likes it.
Were you?
He likes it.
That's my favorite spot.
And
I'm
hello.
like any other guy.
Is this a show for children?
No,
it's not.
So
There's
go
a
for it.
disclaimer.
Right?
So may I ask, what belt are you in the system then?
I'm just a high green. I've actually, I've taken time off. So I've had like trials and tribulations with it. So when I first started, of course, it was due to Justin because he'd been in it.
Right.
And he'd started when he was 14 or 15. And his particular master at the time was somebody that he, you know, for lack of better words, I mean, the idolization was borderline cult. It really was. It was borderline like a
Not
cult.
the only one, buddy.
It was, and in all fairness, this man could do no wrong. We're not going to name names, but
Right.
nonetheless, he was the all-knowing guru. So that being
The
said,
all-knowing guru, I love it.
right, you know, and he had taken time off after getting his first degree, black belt, and then we met, and a good 10 years went by before he wanted to go back. So I said, all right, let's go back. So that's when I first started my journey, and he was
Wow.
working on his second dan, and kind of went from there. Took another break due to family, went back again, and he obtained his third, and then we had a falling out with his current well, not his current, but his previous
Oh, I was gonna
master
say,
instructor.
we had a falling out and I kicked his ass out.
No, that's for another topic.
Shot at him.
Put a pin in it. We're gonna circle back, okay?
Circle back.
We're gonna circle back on that one.
I love these two. I know, right?
So
See, we couldn't have one without the other. And she was
Right.
like, "No, just be quiet."
Oh, I know. I'm like, no.
It's like Laurel and Hardy.
Well, we had this conversation last night. I was like, he was like, no, just do him. I was like, no. She's the
need
more.
both of you, yeah.
She sounded like the more interesting person at the table.
Well, he's more interesting after some scotch.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
true.
Yeah,
No,
that
he's-
did have.
We need to do
he
the late night
is
edition.
the martial arts guru,
edited.
though. I have to say that I just, after that particular breakdown from that instructor, I had issues with it because I find martial arts, of course, very personal as well. It's kind of
Yes.
like a religion.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
people
it
go
really
to
is.
church, they go pray, they do this. So martial arts was also that safe place for me.
Right.
And so that particular situation and witnessing what this master, who was
Right.
supposed to be this nice trainer and guide you and teach you, he was just a nightmare.
Soured the whole
You know,
experience.
And it did.
And
It
it's
was-
amazing, but you hear that story a lot.
Yeah.
I've
Sadly.
heard that story time and time again. It's like, wow,
Well, he stalked our children. He had his sons go after our kid on a football field. He did so many things in saying that he wasn't doing what he needed to do to obtain his black belt. And I'm like, this is not martial arts, folks.
Yeah.
This can't be
Yeah.
how this works. So we broke away, mind you, he thought he was going to lose his school and this and that. And we stopped one day and I said, you don't have to lose anything.
Right. Why
You
does
are
it
you.
have to be
He
you?
doesn't
Yeah.
run you.
She's
but-
my voice of reason.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because he
It's a good
came in
one.
and he's like, I'm going to take away the keys, I'm going to take away the building. And I'm like hell you are.
Are you the owner?
Yeah, I know. He's the owner. His name was on it. So project forward, we found an amazing organization.
So now I will put this out there.
Yeah,
We're
we
with
gotta
the
put this out.
Universal Tang Soo Do Alliance
Right.
under Grandmaster Daryl Khalid.
Okay.
Our Grandmaster.
He
Hey, now you have to be on the show.
Yeah.
yes, he
Yes.
does. We gotta get him up here from Phoenix, Arizona.
Damn
Yes.
From
right.
Phoenix, Arizona.
God, we were gonna.
We're supposed to go down there.
So
Oh, if you do. You need to
Different
see him.
story, different.
Yeah, he's cool.
he was one of the seniors and I guess major mentors of the original organization that we belonged to, because he belonged to it as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
he was part of. He
did
was
he
part
have
of.
a falling out with that organization
Yeah.
as well?
He did,
Yeah.
but that
Wow.
was a little different.
Uh-huh.
Their situation was way different than ours.
Okay.
Let me
But
ask
he
you
knew
this,
about it.
because I've always been curious about this, and like we said, those kind of things go on in martial arts all the time.
Yes.
What do you think is the catalyst that creates that within these
Ego.
jerks that be
Ego.
Ego, I think,
Ego,
is one.
ego, ego.
Yep.
like, I'm in charge, I'm the
Correct.
guy, and
Correct.
you have
Well, and I think it's also
It's-
the mentality as well.
Yeah, but I have to. I'm going to interrupt. Sorry, but I have to disagree because he started out with a really good mentality.
Yes.
He started out with an amazing foundation. He started out with a background, and even being in Korea was fantastic. But then he came to America and built his empire, for lack of better words, and his ego took over. Then it became, I'm king so and so and this and
So
that,
you're
and
saying
it was
it's
an
America's
ego.
fault?
Yeah, maybe.
I like
Maybe.
it. Is he
love this.
American?
With the ego.
He
No,
is.
he's American.
He's American,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. But I mean, when he brought it back, he was still humbled, and the association kept him humble, and they had really good people in there. But I think when dynamics change, and even just with the time that we're living in now too, he got away from himself. His wife obtained her fifth on as well, and was one of the first females. So now you have this. He can't walk into a room without his head getting stuck.
Oh,
It was like go
gee.
sideways.
Yeah.
And then
My wife is this, and I'm that.
exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
But the
Wow.
biggest thing that we had issue with him more than anything, he didn't want you to learn any other styles. You could not bring another
Oh,
style
yeah.
in.
We've heard of those-
You could
those
not.
stories.
Oh, if you did it, you were betraying him.
yeah.
No, you betrayed him.
You got chastised.
Well, we heard a story where somebody they put you on contract.
Contract,
and
yeah.
You couldn't go
Outside
anywhere.
of
You couldn't
school.
even visit another school just to be
He
friendly.
wouldn't. No, you couldn't do that in his school either.
As,
oh gosh,
as,
no,
as
no.
seniors, we would sometimes go and we would not try a school, but just we knew somebody at that school, so
Well,
we'd
yeah,
go
come train with us.
And we go
hang
play
out,
with him for
yeah.
a
day.
Drink a beer.
and we
Oh,
would
no.
come back and tell him, and he would belittle that whole experience of what was going
Yep.
on. So the only places you could go and work out were places that he suggests or he recommended.
So cross-training wasn't a bad thing, only the people that he approved of.
But let's put it this way, he really didn't approve of anybody, so let's circle back.
Yeah, eventually
right?
they got so big that nobody was good enough.
Right.
Got it.
So this gathering was one of the first things Justin had tried to promote it
Right.
years back. He said, hey man, there's this great collective. Can we encourage to do that? And he's like, no.
That's crazy.
No.
You know, I mean, how does the art get perpetuated if you don't
Put it out there.
put it out there? I mean, that's just crazy.
And the talk that if the arts don't evolve and change, you die.
Right.
Your art
exactly.
dies
Yes.
because you have to adapt. You have to change with the times a little bit. I still love the traditional values of it, but as we were
there's so
talking just a little
much
bit
to
ago,
learn.
we've incorporated some of the Filipino
Absolutely.
Well,
arts
and you almost
in our
have to,
stuff.
because once people figure out your style and your way of doing things,
It's less effective.
Yeah, you know, and if you don't change with the times, you are going to die.
Exactly.
Right.
And it is time to evolve. It's kind of like medicine, too. You know, if medicine stayed back in the 1800s, holy crap.
We'd be dead.
That'd be horrible, right?
Life
You
expectancy is
have
back to 50.
Right. You have to. You have
And
to
I should be out
evolve.
partying right now at 50s. What are we doing here, guys?
I'd be dead already.
We're doing Kimuras, and I'm stove up now.
So I'm curious, because last night he had mentioned that you're in the medical field.
Correct.
I want to talk about that because being a martial artist, we all have been banged up pretty bad. I mean,
And not enough of us seek medical attention
No.
well
afterwards,
enough.
right? We
No.
just
should.
go, it's okay, I'll be fine.
Right.
I'll put Tiger Blum on and I'm good.
Right? All right.
You know,
If not
so-
Jow, post
So we
on
should.
white flower oil.
So while you're at the gym and you see, while you're at the dojo
Yeah.
and you see somebody get knocked down, is your first thing to go over there and do the CPR and all the whole medical things that you know to do?
no.
I got to answer that first, because that's where you walk up and you go, "Did you learn anything?"
Right? I mean, did you learn anything? No, and I'm off duty, so.
So she just lets
I'm not getting paid for this. Sorry.
Somebody call an ambulance. He's gonna need it.
Oh, there's a great lady over there too. Is she calling you over?
Yes.
She scares me though. You gotta watch.
The
Sorry.
great lady she's referring to is
We have to
Auntie
pay
Denise.
attention. Yeah.
Come over here, Auntie Denise.
We
come
have
by.
to pay
Now you
attention to
let
her
let
because she'll
speak
hurt
in-
us.
Speaking of pain, this lady knows how to deliver pain.
but she's the one that was teaching the Kimura. Yeah, she got
Well,
me
it's
to
like,
do a Kimura
like we
on
mentioned
him.
earlier, we are at the gathering in Reno, Nevada. This is a fun thing because there's so many martial artists here.
Amazing.
So
Of
wonderful
Amazing.
martial
such
artists.
high caliber.
I've been
This
thrown by
young-
this woman. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's been slapped
hurt,
around by her.
slapped.
I think
You love pain.
we've all got to experience a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Are you setting something up for us later on?
Actually, I wanted you to meet Skip.
Okay, we're gonna take care of this and then we'll come out there.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Auntie
Bye.
Denise, she's awesome. Go check her
Yeah.
out. She's in
She's a
Las Vegas.
badass. She's awesome.
And check out her episode because there's a lot of cool stuff, and some of her students are just amazing,
Oh,
phenomenal. Teenagers are probably, 15, 16 now? But when we met them, they were like
Yeah,
13,
Yeah.
14.
amazing. Yeah.
Really good people. So if you're in Vegas, check her out, Auntie Denise.
She'll hurt you and smile.
And smile. She does have that big smile when she hurts you.
Well, we went to interview and we went to her house to meet her for the before we headed out to her gym, and the first thing she does, eat guys, and there's like
yeah.
a table
Oh.
of food.
Yeah.
We're like,
That's
Typical
awesome.
Filipino.
That's awesome.
Yep.
so,
She actually cooked. We're like, holy crap! Holy, thank
Yeah, I'll
you.
be back. What are we doing here again to eat?
So-
I just come to eat.
Again, going back to the medical aspects of that, I mean, you've seen enough injuries in your lifetime, being that you're a nurse, right? And I know that the first question Naeem asked you, how do you get rid of a dead body?
Right. Any good pig farms?
we're not going to go into details.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Just in case, right? Just in case.
Makes the pork taste even better.
Yes.
So how do you transition from that, knowing that medically that these people are hurting themselves the way they do, and here you are in the medical field for how long?
Probably about 30 years.
30 years.
So started background of paramedicine.
When you were 7?
Right? I wish. God bless you.
Before she
God
was born.
bless you. Now you guys are, that's it. Christmas list. We're going to get cards later. No, seriously.
I'm a large.
I'm a large. That's it. Okay. We'll talk about money later.
Yeah.
But no, I've been in it for, seems like forever. That's been my forte. But started in paramedicine as an advanced EMT. So I worked for the local ambulance company here.
Wow.
Then went on to.
Go, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Went on to the ER a little bit. I was fortunate enough to be trained in surgical scrub tech for labor and delivery.
Wow.
And medical assisting. And the end result was the Washoe County Coroner's Office. So did some investigative work there and the autopsies and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it's
holy
funny.
crap.
And the reason why I bring this up, as our audience knows, my wife is an MA.
Perfect.
And anytime I get hurt, she just says, "That's your fault."
That's
go
exactly.
away."
No sympathy whatsoever.
No.
Our children had a different life.
No, so you got to
It was like,
answer.
is the bone sticking out?
Nope,
Eh,
you're
go
good.
play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not arterial and there's no bones. You're fine.
Yeah, there's no spraying. You're good.
Exactly. You know, and that's
Put a
exactly
little
it.
pressure on it.
You see people doing this
Don't
here,
do
and I
that
love
again.
it because they do it to themselves. I'm like,
Right.
you're fine.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
off
true.
duty. There's an ER. They need your business. And it's also, you know, there's a great thing too. There's a saying that we always say. People go, "Oh my gosh," you know. Again, back to your comment. Does that bother you? This, that? No, because you know why? It's job security.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll always have a job. Keep hurting yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay.
People are really just that stupid, folks.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
People?
even
Really?
people.
Says the guy that back
Oh,
surgery, everything. They've seen the show, guy.
Right, I saw.
And I get beat up by
I
everybody
saw the
that comes
hot
to the show.
poker up the ass.
Yes.
Oh, that was not fun.
Yeah,
But what's
right?
funny is you're describing it, all I knew was happening. I'm like, oh, he has to go back. Oh, he's got an infection. Oh, he's got
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
You're good. You're
Because,
good.
you know, like I said, I sat down and I felt this, it had to have been about a 9-inch blade right up my
Right.
ass. I'm like,
Thanos, is that you?
yeah, like, holy crap, whoa. And I'm thinking, I'm going to die right here through my ass. It's,
Pretty
you know,
much.
because it felt like this.
Yeah.
It was a burning hot poker right up straight up there. I'm like, and I asked the doctor, he goes, yeah, that's just a nerve floating
It's a
around.
nerve, yeah.
I'm like, really? Yeah, that causes a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
If you think the psycho nerve is crazy, then you obviously experienced its sister. So, yeah. No.
Oh, it was nuts. I'm like, okay. You know,
Yeah.
I wish Naeem would get that just so he understood.
Yeah,
Just to feel it and share it?
We renamed your sciatic nerve is no longer
psycho nerve.
It's the psychotic nerve
Yeah.
because it has a mind of its own.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, even before the surgery, I was getting that because that's why I needed surgery.
And
I was
Rick,
getting
to
it.
your
It was
point.
pinched.
Fuck that.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
Yeah,
I don't
That's
know.
it.
yeah,
Good,
it was
good.
not a fun feeling.
No, I see my chiropractor once a month
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
make sure that I'm fit
can
and
poop
I get
proper?
and everything works fine. I get readjusted. Hey, my shoulder fell out of place. All right, I put it back in. Hey, this disc is missing somewhere. Oh, I'll put it back in.
I'll put it back in.
That's pretty much.
It'll go
Because
back in.
we
You know,
get
let me circle back. Let me circle back to you.
never mind.
And security guard on the show today. Hi, how are you doing?
We have our own security now,
God
folks.
bless. She just wanted to be in the show.
It's all right.
We're gonna have to get a release.
Like,
Yeah.
go around.
We'll put her on the next episode.
Oh, you don't even want to know the trials and tribulations
Oh,
of
my
circus
goodness.
security. God.
Oh, well, she can't.
What are
She's
your
at work.
aspirations in the martial arts? Are you trying to go to the black belt? Are you trying to get up there? Or are you just kind of hanging out with hubby?
You know, at this point, like I said, I'm kind of dabbling back into it again. You know, our oldest son obtained his black belt, which was amazing.
Oh, nice.
Youngest is working on his. He's what, an orange now?
He was about to test for orange
Before COVID
hit.
kicked in. And, you know, I've always said I'll come back. But like I said, there's just some few things that I have to get past. And I'd started to do that. And then COVID kicks in and then just...
So is he the one giving you your ranks?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
So
It
you
was
can't
the
say, "Come on,
previous
honey, come on,
instructor.
honey."
Oh, so
You know, we debated on that, whether he would test me or not. And of course, I'd probably have him do it. But then I kind of have a hard time with that because talk about ego. This one's head too.
I love it.
So this is the running joke. Couples, they can't learn from each other. They can't.
You
it's
know
tough.
what? We can, though, because I respect him
Right.
in the aspect of what he does. I mean, at times, does he irritate me and piss me off? Well, it's just because he breathes. But
See, I can't teach
mean,
my wife.
Yeah, and
If we
that's
start going to blows or something, I have to say, Naeem, you go teach her.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when he gets like this real picky, I mean, just like he'll go over and over again, pick him like, oh, just shut up, just
It's
move on.
not. It's not picky. It's
Yeah.
just he's trying to correct something.
No, he's
Right.
trying. No,
It's
this is his way to get
Oh,
back
you're
at me.
You're trying to correct
Good one, Naeem.
This is his
Yeah,
way
this
to
is
get
good.
back
This
at
is
me.
good.
This is for all the other shit, and this is why he uses his little master's hat, and he's like, I'm gonna get back at her now.
Do you think he's that smart?
Oh God, you're right.
I don't even wear a hat at class.
This is true. I did. I overestimated it.
Because I'm like, you might do that if you were in his position.
Oh yeah.
Would he?
That's why the Kimura thing's sweet. Hell yeah. I come here so I can put it on. Yeah.
Folks, I promise at the end of this, when we do the demo, she's gonna get a
No,
Kimura.
no.
She's gonna throw him in a Kimura.
Oh yeah, let them play.
We're definitely gonna do that.
Sorry, you get to play.
Oh.
You get to do the
Well, you
Kimura.
can
He's
put
gonna
Naeem-
do the Kimura on you.
Yeah, there you go. You can get Naeem.
I'm healing. I'm still healing. I've had recent surgery and I've had all kinds of stuff.
We were
so.
gonna let you put him in the Kimura. Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, I did in there. So
Well,
that was
we
in
want
my-
to see it over here.
They want to see it.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Mike Tyson
No, you
to
don't.
my ear already.
I know, right? Did you see what I did to his ear? I cut part of that off.
So let
That's
me
because
ask
he
you.
forgot the trash.
Yep.
And Justin, you're hoping to put up a new school or start?
Correct.
And when's that coming up?
Hopefully after the first of the year. I've been working out of town because I have a regular day job as well.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
Don't we
So
all?
hopefully after the first of the year, when things get changed and moved around, and I get back into town and stuff, then I'll be able to commit more time.
Sounds
to it.
exciting. Is it going to be here in Reno?
Yes. Either Reno or Sparks, one of the either or.
Now I'm curious. What is your day job?
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
Oh,
So
how heavy?
I get to play trucks.
He gets to play with Tonka trucks
I
all
get to play
day.
trucks.
Ooh, that's cool.
Dirt.
So
That's a cool.
That's pretty
job.
cool.
we're not as
Right.
heavy as the mines,
Uh-huh.
but we got some pretty big toys.
Oh, I can. What's your
No,
favorite?
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Excavator.
The excavator?
Yeah.
Every time I pass one of those down, I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I want to
Big
get up
rocks.
there.
I want to do.
Big
I
rocks.
want to climb up on one of those.
Ooh, do you ever put
Stand
that
on the
attachment that
tire.
does the
Play with
concrete
it.
break?
The breaking
Yeah.
breaking hammer.
That.
Yeah, it's noisy. So.
Do it again. Do it again.
I don't want
just-
to.
Do it again.
That's
Come
for,
on.
that's for the apprentices.
Oh.
That job for the apprentices.
You know, I've always been afraid of playing with those giants. I feel like all my bones would just fall apart.
No, but
Right.
he does it with the machine,
Oh,
with the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Just
said
attach it to the bucket.
excavator
Wow.
is probably one of the nicer of the equipment, in my opinion,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because it's very smooth. You're only tracking when you track to move, to stop to somewhere, then you dig. So if you move the levers,
Look at him. He's over there.
it's
He's just like
smooth.
a kid over there.
He
Holy
is.
crap! What the hell?
So-
It's like 10 again.
If you watch the shows,
We
he
should have brought
does
him a
that
truck.
all the time.
Yeah,
He
we
just
should have
starts
brought him.
making movements.
Well, because I can't sit still.
Right.
I have ADH
like
something.
Something.
I always forget what it
smooth is
is.
fast.
Smooth as fast. That's
Doesn't
right.
matter. Hyper.
So
It's hyper. Nice.
It is, and I'm like on 3 hours of sleep and at least a pint of alcohol.
Why 3? Oh, that's right. You guys went.
Yeah.
They just to let you know, they invite us to dinner and then they kick us out and they go party.
Oh,
They sent us home.
it wasn't much.
We
of a
went to
party.
gamble and we ran into people at the bar.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
That was literally what happened. We're like, hey, where were we supposed to go? I don't know.
Did you
Let's
win
walk this
money?
way.
I
Hey,
won, it
what
was
are you guys
funny.
doing tonight?
I put in a $20
Maybe
$20
party.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the very first button push, the bonus came up.
Shut up.
And that gave me $64. 3 spins later,
This is
I get
garbage.
another $44. I'm like, yay, let me go home. You know,
Yeah.
I went back upstairs.
Well, see, that's
Yeah.
you learned
At least you know. Go home.
because they don't build these big fancy buildings with lots of these sparkly lights because they're losing.
That's right. Oh, no. No, I don't like to
Did
give
you
back
win?
what I win.
Nate, did you
Oh,
win?
I don't gamble.
He doesn't.
Oh, you didn't gamble?
No, I drink.
This is the gamble for him.
Yes.
This is the gamble for me.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that deer in the head? Like, eh.
I have to trust that the guy knows what he's doing. Oh, we've had incidents.
Just for,
We've had incidents.
Oh, we've had.
no.
Oh my God, we
We won't get into it.
no, we
Why
will
not?
because it's funny.
Why not?
Why?
So
I
we-
want to know.
Well,
Okay, no, we're interviewing. Wait. I want
why?
you to tell me. Tell me some stories about this tabletop.
I love how she just turns her.
How you do-
So we were.
Shall we go get a
were
drink?
doing-
Wait, do we have a cocktail waitress?
That would be nice right now.
Wouldn't that be, Bloody Marys?
Yeah. But
we had an interview with a awesome martial artist. His name is Johnny Oliva. Oliva.
We know
something.
Oliva, yeah.
And he's a real hoot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's just funny
Oh, yeah.
and shit. I mean, he just babbles on, which we
Babbles.
love. Sorry, boss.
Babble, babble.
So we're going through this whole thing, and we wrap up and we go home and we realize the sound went out.
Oh,
like
Hey, Johnny.
8 minutes into the
8 minutes in,
conversation.
and we call him. We say, "Hey, sir, so we had this problem, And I'll go, get back over here. We'll start again. I mean, just wonderful guy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Johnny's pretty cool. It's cool stuff.
You know, and you gotta love
man.
that. You know, the guy was just so giving and so just, you know, hey, whatever, you know, shit happens. Let's go. Let's,
Yeah.
you know.
do it
And then
again. There's
we
more
were
to talk
filming
about.
again. We weren't going to mention it. First thing come out of his mouth. We're doing it again because they fucked up.
He just rats us out to us.
They fucked
And we're
up.
like, yeah. I mean,
They're new at
own
Disney.
it.
So
They just got their play school equipment.
We
last
met
week.
Pretty
him.
much.
We met him the first time at the smaller gathering, which they call the Reno gathering. Before,
Okay.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
the gathering came up here, the big one. And so he would come up and work out with us. And Sensei Denise and Master Michael Smith puts it on, and a bunch of other guys are all there. And he comes up, he starts working with us a little bit. We're doing some technique or whatever. He goes, "Hey, I got something for you." And we're like, "Okay."
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking he's gonna show us, go
Yeah.
get
No.
a weapon so he can show us something. He comes back and he goes, "Here."
Yep.
We're like, "What's this?" And he goes, "Well, open it up." And he gave both of us a karambit.
Yep. That's his calling card. believe it or
That's
not.
so cool.
And I was like,
So cool.
"That is way cool."
Yeah, I was like,
I
wow.
said,
Watch his episode. You guys will be laughing all night.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
then,
he's-
so we started following him on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Facebook and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and got to know him a little bit. And, it was,
nice people.
the impression right off the gate was, this is a nice dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice
he,
dude.
when we first met him, because when we first met, it was that day we went to go do the interview,
Oh wow.
and he was just very giving. By the time we left, we had a bag,
A karambity.
Oh,
a-
yeah, yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
machete.
Oh, yeah, you got the machete.
Machete.
I mean, this guy was just,
Machete.
Yeah.
but just super chill, super
king.
nice,
Yeah.
just very giving. And we're like, dude,
Good
and now
people.
we've become good friends, at least on my part.
Right?
Really?
You
Last,
never know.
last time you went to
Last
see
you
him.
checked,
Yo.
Oh no, he and I've been in contact.
I
him,
know,
though.
I know.
He,
You guys been
Last
he
time
calls
you-
me up a couple of times to check on my, because of my injuries.
He's
There's
one of
not
the
a
few
lot-
people that's gone through pretty much every surgery you've had,
Yeah,
and
but-
then some.
But he's
Yeah.
calling up and says, "Hey, how you doing, Rick? Is everything all right? How do you feel?
That's nice.
So you got to love that. I mean, there are so many good people in the martial arts circle,
Absolutely.
Yes.
and it doesn't matter what system you're in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Shouldn't.
Sometimes people just huddle and this is it. Oh,
This is us.
this
We're
system,
over here. Everybody else is.
But the real good ones
Yeah.
will go around and talk with everybody and not care. Like you said, the last guy, you guys are just, no, it's only this. But we have so many that are so much more opposite of that, And I think that's why I love the martial arts, because you do get these cool group of people who just love shooting the shit with each other.
oh yeah,
Well, that's like you said that. I said, am I getting back into it? Am I going to do it again? And I do. I miss this, and I needed kind of that reinstilled again.
Right.
And meeting good people and being here and seeing these things.
oh, we
some
might
stuff
have
you
ruined
can
her
take.
chances at this point if she might not.
Right.
She's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah, right. And I'm trying. I'm trying because I miss that. I miss that holistically, and then of course I miss this too. I miss, having really good people like that you meet and you can fall back on. But there's still always that little thing in the back of my mind. But I'm getting there. And
awesome.
I realize that it is part of my life. It's always gonna be if I have to be with him.
If you
Notice I
have
said
to.
half. I said half. to
she's
be
stuck
with
here
him.
because I ain't doing it again.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm done. One and done, baby. One and done.
you gotta love the atmosphere that the martial arts creates.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I remember back in there because I used to do Kempo back in the 70s,
Yeah.
and in the Bay Area it was a big thing.
With Ed Parker.
Well, no, it was I was with Belisos
Okay.
in San Francisco, but in that whole area you had Alemany, you had Castros, and all these Navarros, and I tell you that family feeling back then,
Yeah.
which you don't get as much these
Now,
days.
but
The whole
Yeah.
pomps and everything when you had the pageantry of tournaments, you'd have thousands of people show up,
Yep.
and now you're lucky if you get 200 people to show up, But back then it was just a whole, everybody wanted
it's
to be
a
there.
culture.
Yeah, it was a thing.
It's a culture.
And then And then in the '84 when Karate Kid stuff that ruined it
Yeah.
because you had everybody just
Karate
buying.
Kid.
Well, no, because everybody and the mother became opened up a school.
Right.
They had these McDojos where
Right.
the teachers were
That's
not.
where the McDojo comes from.
Right.
See, I gotta give you props for bringing up Karate Kid because go Cobra Kai. Tang Soo Do.
Oh
It's
my
Tang
gosh,
Soo Do.
that's right.
Have you? Yeah, it's a wonderful show. I'm
Those
so
didn't
glad
know
that they
that's
brought
the
it
art
back.
they use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they brought it back, and they brought it back not to do anything with the actual show,
Right.
but the original movies. But they're bringing back some really good stories.
Yeah.
That are, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I love how they're bringing back the old cast, having them all pop in.
Yeah,
There's
bringing new
they're
light.
bringing a new movie out to follow back on the Karate Kid series evidently.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So-
I heard it.
Yeah.
There'll be a Karate Kid 5, I guess.
Yeah.
But the funny thing that I was telling her about is it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. So we all know how history is with martial arts. Everybody's no, my history's this way. No, you're wrong. It's this way.
Right.
So I was sitting there and I'm watching her, and they're going, yeah, it's Tang Soo Do, which we all know Tang Soo Do is Korean. Okay.
Right.
In the movie, it's Okinawan.
Right.
So, in the movies, they say it's
History
from
lesson.
Okinawa.
He's been
This is
dying
what
to
we
talk
do,
about
and
this.
how we do it, and why
Right.
we do it, and the drum technique, and all this stuff. And I love Mr. Miyagi. I mean, I think he really did, all in all, hit the nail on the head with
Yeah.
Oh,
this
yeah.
philosophy.
Filipino version.
But
Danielson.
but then they go, yeah, in the war, they taught us Tang Soo Do over in Vietnam when we were in Vietnam, which is okay, yeah, and that is true. They did teach Tang Soo Do to the American soldiers in Vietnam.
Because of the Korean special forces that were
Correct.
in Vietnam.
So it's where Japanese Korean art in a karate movie.
Gotta bring it back.
From what she tells me, he's been waiting 10 years to say this.
Yes, praise Jesus.
practiced
Thank
it.
you. That's it. We
He
can
was
die.
hoping that one day in his life he was going to be able to bring this
I
out.
think at this
dying.
point we do a mic drop and just fade out.
That's it.
So we're good.
That's it.
We're good.
Got his history books.
So, Justin, how old were you when you started?
I was 13
13.
Wow.
Why?
because my friend wanted me to do martial arts. No, I thought it. I was always a small kid. I was always one of the shortest kids in this class or whatever.
Pequeño.
She went like this.
You know that means something different, right?
Now you're making
Muy
it plush.
pequeño.
So,
Mom.
Good thing you're already red.
yeah, that's right.
But big mind. Big mind. Big mind.
So,
She said big head.
Big
Oh, big
getting
head, my
worse.
bad. I'm sorry.
kid.
It was this with a big head.
which measurement am I supposed to take? Which one of these is supposed to be the same?
This show just went to shit.
Talking about being 13. Looks like we never grew up from that age.
Juvenile.
Right.
Bloody hell.
So 13.
So my good friend, my best friend at that time he was a high brown belt in Tang Soo Do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
So he says, I always wanted to learn because I'd seen Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and stuff and all those guys that thought, oh yeah, that's badass, you know. So I wanted to learn, and so I found the opportunity finally. And I was raised part in the city and part in the country. So out in the country, the only thing you fight is chickens, you know.
Shit kicker.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So there's not much
Cow pie.
competition there.
Cow pie.
Unless you start
Cow
messing
pie
with the
football.
cows and bulls.
I was gonna say you never fought a bull.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's stupid.
No, but they try to get me to rifles. Okay.
They tried to
Why
get
do
you
I
to
want
run
to
the
fight something that's 2,000 pounds, 112?
That ain't gonna work.
At that time.
No.
112.
Yeah.
At that time, yeah.
So he started to teach me.
You're like, no.
Now, of course, that was very frowned upon by our instructor at that
Of course.
Oh,
because he was teaching me outside of class.
This is that same instructor
Yeah.
that I'm telling
Bring
you
him
about.
in so I can make money. goddammit.
Yeah, he wasn't
I'm not
allowed
making
to-
money off this.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
So he proceeded to beat the crap out of me for several months. Maybe it was 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay. So your friend just wanted a punching bag.
he did.
Pretty much.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Got it.
So he taught me how to
Good friend.
kick and how to punch and all that stuff and do it correctly, but then sparring as well.
Right.
Sparring, they loved.
So yeah, we loved sparring back then. It was the harder the better, you know.
Yeah, back in the days, you could spar
yeah.
real
Dude,
good.
That was in the olden days.
Yeah, you can't do that, dude. The lawsuits and stuff these days.
We still do.
You still try. As long as they're over 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
18 and
Yeah, one of his students broke his wife's arm at the time in class. They were playing with each other, grab ass, and pretending to do martial arts, and broke her arm. So
Yeah.
we still spar.
Hi, Tim.